SVG-TV News headlines sponsored in part by Flo.
Headlines. 94 schools across SVG to benefit from government multi-million-dollar school rehabilitation program. Barbados government announces an end to arrival and departure cards for travelers. Amazon rainforest burning at record rate as scientists warn it could strike a devastating blow to the fight against climate change. And in sports, England to host West Indies, Australia, Pakistan and Ireland in 2020. These and other stories coming up in SVG-TV's Evening News and Sports.
That was the news headline sponsored in part by Flo.
Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV News and Sports for Thursday, August 22nd, 2019. I am Yvesta Boynes with the details. The government has embarked on an extensive school rehabilitation program which will see work done on 94 schools across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Building, Roads and General Services Authority, BRAXA, and other contractors carrying out the work are expected to finish in time for the start of the new school year on September 2nd. Speaking on the repairs being carried out, Minister of Finance Camila Gonzalez at a news conference earlier this week says it is a massive undertaking by the government.
Never before has there been an example of a government in St. Vincent and the Grenadines spending $6.5 million over 2 months to repair schools. Never. Back at the outset of the commencement of the education revolution, there was a repair and construction program, but it did not reach $6 million.
In addition to the government's funding for the repairs, the central bank is expected to fund repairs to 9 schools to the tune of $1 million EC. Further, under the BNTF program, major repairs will be carried out on 3 schools, namely Calico Anglican School, New Grounds Primary and Park Hill Government.
But this year, because we knew we were getting PAVE, which is a dedicated footpath project, Minister Caesar allowed some of us to spend our PAVE money on things other than footpaths. And the 3 of us, the Honorable Prime Minister, Minister Caesar and I, decided that we would use our BNTF money on schools. Prime Minister and Minister Caesar have spoken about their schools. At Calico, those of you who have visited with Calico will know that it is cramped for space.
New furniture will also be placed in some schools. Minister Gonzalez also noted that the repairs being carried out under the school's rehabilitation program have afforded employment opportunities to hundreds of Vincentians.
You realize you're spending $100,000 a day. And if it's $6.5 million now we go on, it's $110,000 a day. And you're talking about, on average, between $65,000 and $70,000 per school.
You have 73 contractors and about 400 workers.
And there is an army, as the Prime Minister is indicating, an army of contractors and workers out there doing this work in a very tight window of time. Now, at the end of it, I am sure people will come back and say, well, how they fix this? And why they come there and do that part and so on. But that's why I contextualize it. 400 workers, 59 days, $6.5 million, 94 schools. It is, for a small country, an incredible amount of work and an incredible commitment to education and to the students and the parents across St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The new investors of the Buccament Bay Resort were hoping to have the resort reopen this year. However, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said it is unlikely to happen. The PM said though it is another disappointment, he understands the reasons for delays.
I am disappointed that the process has been taking this long. And the thing is this, that there were several legal issues. And when you have the investors, you have the KPMG, who are they're the entity which is dealing with the entire liquidation. You have individual players outside of those down there. I'm talking about people with lands and for which no title had been passed, and then the government. It's a highly complicated set of legal issues.
The investors of the Buccament Bay Resort include Vincentians, and the Prime Minister said he is pleased that efforts are being made to ensure that all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted before reopening, which may be sometime next year.
This will have to be sometime next year. Sometime next year, and I would think the amount of work which is required to be done, I don't know if that's going to happen before the next tourist season.
So that's late next year. Okay,
I would, well, it's complicated, very complicated. I'm glad the investors have come in.
The Buccament Bay Resort was closed in 2016 after it went into bankruptcy. A trustworthy man, loved by the people, and the original comrade leader. These were some of the sentiments expressed today in Parliament by members of the government bench in their tribute to Sir Vincent Beach, who was laid to rest on Monday.
He was a good family man, a good husband, a good father and grandfather, a good comrade, my comrade leader, our comrade leader in the Unity Labour Party. And he will always be that, because he's the original comrade leader.
And through the education revolution, he lit a candle in every nook and cranny of this country, so that we see young people coming, looking so nicely dressed in their uniforms, going to secondary schools all over the country, and many of them excelling in getting numerous subjects, CXC passes, and going on to university, where their parents would have never dreamt that they would have a son, a daughter, a granddaughter, grandson going to a university. That's the candle he lit.
On the ground to the idea of this airport. And we had to meet with everybody in that constituency where the airport was going to be and say, listen, we're going to take your house from you. We're going to buy your house. We want to buy the house and move you and put you somewhere else, and we will help you get a new house, we will sell you new land, whatever the case may be. Big houses. Houses to which people had retired. And in those interactions, people needed to come in and talk to somebody that they trusted, that they knew was a straight shooter, that wasn't going to mama guide them, and that had their interests in heart. And that person was Sir Vincent Ian Beach.
And every consultation you go, every village, every farm, you'll hear persons saying, the days of Sir Vincent. And I'm happy to know that other ministers of agriculture that they're built on the legacy of Sir Vincent. And many of the achievements we see today in the sector, we are actually standing on the shoulders of a very great man.
Members of the opposition also paid tribute to Sir Vincent, noting his sacrifice and commitment to SVG.
Sir Vincent, I knew, was in politics almost for as long as I can remember. There was always Vincent Beach somewhere around in politics. I went away for many years, I came back, he was still in politics. In those days when I was in school, I never thought I would have been in this arm of the house, sitting on one side of the house and he on the other. He gave, I've heard from his colleagues who knew him better in close relationships, he gave of his all to the country. We may have differed about policy and about practice, but Mr. Speaker, I never questioned the sincerity, the motives, the commitment of someone who engages in public service for this length of time. That is not somebody who is just simply doing this as an opportunistic gesture. This is a life commitment.
As I left the hall, this Parliament, last Monday, I knew I had just witnessed the end of an era. An era, in many ways, was reflected in Sir Vincent's life, both in terms of length of life and quality. He was a good man. And our God has taken him to be with him in paradise. I say to his family, the divider, and to his sons and daughters, and to this house, daughter, and to this house, we've all lost something that was important to us. Many of us are left to follow that route. Let us ensure that when we make and continue to make our contribution to the people of this country, we have an example to follow. May the Lord.
Efforts being made to facilitate a greater level of trading between SVG and Guyana. This and other stories coming up when we return with more local news. Stay with us.
News sponsored in part by Flow.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is a fact of life, that doesn't make it any easier. When dealing with the loss of a loved one, you may try to be strong, but it's really hard sometimes. But that's just when the experience of the staff at New Haven Funeral Home can demonstrate their compassion and help to guide your family through the difficult time. So in your time of loss, call the New Haven Funeral Home at 457-1830. or 458-1467, or email newhavenfuneralhome@gmail.com. New Haven Funeral Home, SVG's preferred funeral home.
Star Limited is now located on the third floor of the first St. Vincent Bank building. They have extended their range of products and furniture, including patio sets, closets, shoe casing, beds and mattresses, TV cabinets, and kitchen cupboards, just to name a few of their luxurious pieces, all at unbelievable prices. Don't just take my word for it. Check them out upstairs the first St. Vincent Bank building. And don't forget, they still have the best in windows, doors, burglar bars, rails, and vanities. Humanities, C-Star Limited, where quality and style is our motto.
Stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day, because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Welcome back. Efforts are being made to facilitate a greater level of trading between Guyana and SVG. So says Guyana's honorary consul to SVG, Nigel Russell, who told SVG-TV News that he has been making arrangements for a Guyana-registered vessel to help facilitate the trade between SVG and Guyana, which, if all goes as planned, should commence operation in a few weeks' time.
Right now, there is one company that has decided that they are going to do this. That's as far as I can say right now. They are now in the process of signing their agreement now with an agent here. So that is how far we've gone. So we've reached that place now. We will be having shipments being done between Guyana, St. Vincent, and Grenada. So for me, it has been a joy where that was concerned, because, you know, we want to do so many different things, but that was primarily the biggest hurdle. And it was not a simple thing if you would understand what shipment entails. They look at the freight cost, they look at the distance, and they look at fuel cost. Those are the three major things that they have to consider. I think the very first shipment is supposed to be the end of the month, early next month.
Russell says his office is open to all Guyanese living in SVG, and they should feel free to access its services, including verifying documents.
We would like to see more people coming to talk to us. Look, birth certificates seem to be the major issue. We have now taken that up with the Guyana government. 75% of the persons who have birth certificates, the information is wrongly stated. So it simply means that most of the things that they want to do here in St. Vincent cannot be done. 75 to 80%. And even from the original documents that they received, we don't know where this has come from. But birth certificates, as you'd understand, it's a major document, and if it is not accurate, the system here, the agencies here are not accepting it, and they have a right not to accept it.
The honorary consul said Guyana is also looking to recruit the services of Vincentians, especially to work in its oil and gas industry.
Workers from the Caribbean first. So we've linked now with Schomburg, which is the agency that Exxon has contracted to do recruitment. Schomburg will be down here in another 2-3 weeks. We'll be doing some recruitment. Training will be done here. The first part of the training will be done right here in St. Vincent, and then they will recruit it for Guyana. They've said, based upon what we've seen, between St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and Grenada, they have some of the technical skills that can be honed for the oil and gas sector. St. Vincent, within the next 6 to 12 months, will be one of the places that they'll be looking to get, particularly electricians, electrical engineers, welders, and those who I think have project management skills.
Russell further noted that he has been working closely with the Guyanese Association of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to ensure that all Guyanese in SVG are adequately represented. Computer-aided design evening classes will be made available to students who participated in the 2019 STEM summer program and other secondary school students who wish to join. During the summer program, the participants were introduced to computer-aided design and a 3D printer. Computer-aided design software is used by architects, engineers, drafters, artists, and others to create precision drawings or technical illustrations. CAD software can be used to create two-dimensional drawings or three-dimensional models. Founder of the STEM SVG, Petrus Gum, said that though the CAD software is considered to be a bit difficult, it is important that the students learn about the software because next year it will be compulsory for students doing arts and woodwork for CXC.
That's something that is just fashionable. It's something that next year CXC is demanding that students learn CAD, especially for the technical drawing section and for the woods and the woodwork section of their curriculum. They have to learn CAD. So the quicker we can get them involved and understand these various concepts, it's easier for them to learn the concept that they will meet in something like AutoCAD, because the same idea being transitioned, the same dimension, and a lot of them carry the same set of tools. Well, learning that and so forth, of course, the software and so forth, the only course and so forth that we will be bringing forward, the 3D printers use what is called filament, which is like a thin piece of plastic that it melts to create or print what you want it to print. That will have a cost to it because it's not readily available here in St. Vincent. We have to import all of them. So if there is a cost, it will be a cost to help us get those back.
Gum said that this year's summer program was another success because the participants had the experience of turning their ideas into an actual product that they can touch. He said they were also able to design phone cases, fidget spinners, and plastic toys using the CAD software and the 3D printers.
From the great disenchantment that we saw on the face of our students, it was a big success because a lot of our kids, we thought, now CAD by itself could be an intimidating field, an intimidating software for students to use because it can be information overload. A lot of them might run away from it because of the complexity and the learning curve that it might take to understand the CAD software. But we introduced this software in the STEM program in a nice, free and relaxed environment, away from pressures of having a grade and from having a mark. It was more of bringing their creativity forward. And a lot of the students bite onto that software readily, creating nice products, fine-tuning products, fine-tuning their phone cases, fine-tuning their fidget spinner, to the point where we were able to print it for them, and they were very excited by that. That by itself was one of the highlights of the program, where we get our students, secondary students, to see that they can, those products that they see, they can actually be part of creating and engineering these same products for themselves. Once they take the time to understand the tools and the resources and become available to them, they can be part of creation of products that they see selling in the stores.
The STEM SVG founder urges parents to stop buying their children tablets and instead invest in a computer or laptop, which will be more beneficial to them.
Some of my students across the board in the program is that we notice, and I mentioned this at the closing, is that we notice that parents are quickly, because it's fashionable, maybe, are quickly giving students tablets, all right? Now, tablets are quick and easy to get. They're fashionable, as I mentioned, but their capability are limited. Limited to the extent like they use them for YouTube, they use them for watching a video or playing a game. But where we would like to take our kids in the development arena, the different softwares and so forth that we use, the tablet cannot do it. So we are encouraging parents, and we encourage them at the closing, to get a laptop for the students because it will serve them more during the school time. The tablet is too limited in the capability of what we would like to see our kids doing or completing in school and completing these kind of tasks. So we are encouraging parents to move towards the laptop.
Some of the participants in the STEM summer program spoke about their experiences learning how to use the CAD software and making actual products using the software and the 3D printer.
When I did the design for the fidget spinner, I noticed there was a lot of pieces to be created and assembled. So that's why we went on a software called Onshape. It was a very compact software.
It was really mind-opening for me, or taught me, I should say, how to think outside the box, and it taught me many things I didn't know about the manufacturers, especially in the phone department. For instance, it taught me that manufacturers will give out information about the design of the phones so that case companies could develop and design phone cases even before the phones are released.
SVG continues to dazzle audiences at Carafesta 14 in Trinidad. Dancers from SVG's contingent put on quite a performance at the Carafesta Grand Market yesterday. Here is a snippet of their performance.
Music is the language of the soul. It evokes vibes, passion, the energy, rhythm, and when the rhythm hits, you just dance.
Barbados government announces an end to arrival and departure cards for travelers. This from the region. When we return, stay with us.
That was a local news segment.
The Everready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Everready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Everready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Everready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Juicy, juicy, drink today. Juicy, juicy, same great taste. Juicy, juicy, the original drink. It's a Vincent thing. Get your red and banana, pineapple, juicy cola, orange or apple. Juicy for you and for your neighbor. It's a Vincent thing. Enjoy it juicy, the original Vincent thing. Juicy. 26 retail shops and restaurants open now for your convenience. At the cruise ship terminal. At the cruise ship terminal. It's a great venue to run for functions. Secure parking, great ambiance. At the cruise ship terminal. At the cruise ship terminal.
Convenient parking at the Kingstown Cruise Ship Terminal and the Geese Compound. The Kingstown Cruise Ship Terminal has 26 retail shops and restaurants with a variety of food offerings. A great secure venue for your function with a great ambience. Also, we offer lock storage service. The Cruise Ship Terminal. Convenience for you.
At the cruise ship terminal. The cruise ship terminal. Search for Life is back again. Your favorite game. Win house and land. SUV plus 50 grand. 50 and 25 grand. Second and third prize in your hand. Yeah. So play as much as you can. Monthly prices to be won. Set for life. A brand new house. Set for life. A brand new car. Set for life. $10 for a bet. Live your life with no regrets. Set for life. Did your day done set? Set for life. December 28th. Set for life. Check the lotto machine. Get set for 2019. Set for life. Live all of your dreams. Be a winner, turn your own keys. Set for life.
At RE/MAX, We know you want to sell your property at top dollar and as fast as possible. To help you sell at top dollar, all of our agents are trained to negotiate the highest possible price for your property. And to sell as fast as possible, our agents can access over 120,000 agents around the globe, which results in more potential buyers. This is why nobody in the world sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Contact your RE/MAX agent today and get your property sold.
Let's face it, things don't always go according to plan. Sometimes things go wrong, and sometimes things break. So whether you're a beginner or a pro, Gibson's Building Supplies has what you need. So it doesn't matter if it's heavy hardware or light hardware, we've got it all. So whether you can or you can't, we've got something you need. So come on in to Gibson's Building Supplies today.
The regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Welcome to our news from the region. From September 1st, people entering Barbados will no longer have to fill out immigration customs forms. Barbados Minister of Home Affairs Edmund Hinkson says the decision was taken by Parliament last Thursday. We hear more in this CBC News report.
Local, regional and international travelers will no longer have to spend countless minutes filling out the ED form. Instead, Home Affairs Minister Edmund Hinkson says all the relevant information can be obtained using the 48 kiosks in the airport's arrivals hall and in a much quicker fashion.
The processing time at the kiosk right now is about 60 seconds, 75 seconds, a minute and a half, the most maybe for those who are a bit more technologically challenged. You put in your passport, and virtually all passports in the world now are biometric, and that automatically gives you information on your nationality, your date of birth, your occupation, so you don't have to ask those questions. You're asked to take a photo.
In an effort to gain key data for the Ministry of Tourism, Cabinet has added some additional questions for international visitors, such as their zip code and type of accommodation for the duration of their stay.
That's important for tourism as well, your length of stay, that tourism can work out the averages. For customs, we're going to separate some questions, pharmaceuticals and narcotics, whereas right now, on the back of the ED form, the customs declaration form, they are together. So we're separating them. Where there is a global health risk, there will also be an additional health question as to whether you have recently been to a country where there may have been a global health risk, Ebola, for example.
Minister Hinkson has also given the assurance that even with the elimination of the ED form and additional kiosks at the airport, no immigration officers will be retrenched.
We are not laying off any immigration officials, any immigration officers. I know I've been asked that already. We have a lot of work for immigration officers up here at headquarters to do, because we are also speeding up the process of grant of citizenship and other statuses on application by people in Barbados.
As it relates to fingerprint scanning, Minister Hinkson says there are no plans to introduce this at this time. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Despite yesterday's flooding in Port of Spain, Trinidad, the country's Transport and Works Minister said the capital city was spared a disaster. As we hear in this CNC3 news report, there was only 30 minutes of rainfall. However, it equaled 1/3 of last month's total downpour in the country.
Now, all of this followed 30 minutes of rainfall, but thankfully there was a low tide and the drain seemed clean enough to allow water to run off unhindered. Well, it took about 15 to 20 minutes or so for the water level to start to drop. After that, it was really down to how good your leap really is. But what does the city corporation has to say about this flooding?
You know that the infrastructure is 100 years old. It is not adequate for the modern city that we have. And as we continue to develop the city, we're going to need to eventually do something about the drain infrastructure.
The mayor did attribute the quick runoff to constant work done by the city corporation to clean the underground drains. But according to the mayor, upgrading the drainage system in Port of Spain, otherwise known as the long-term fix, will cost the city corporation around $130 million. Now, the mayor said as part of a project near Citygate, the capital was promised 2 pumps to pull the water from the drain out to the sea. So when was he promised these pumps?
I was told a couple months ago that it should have been here already before the rainy season.
But the Works Minister is tonight wondering who gave him that timeline.
I have no idea where he would have gotten that assurance.
The minister said the pumps will be here in September, as they had to be specifically made for this purpose. He said this will only help alleviate inundation around Citygate. But the minister said the pumps wouldn't have helped much today, as the 1 hour of rainfall around midday equaled the amount of rainfall we get on average in half a month.
So the average last month was 101 millimeter for the entire month. So what you have is 50% of the entire month rainfall falling in 1 hour.
He said if it wasn't for nightly drainage cleanups by the ministry's crew, today's minor inconvenience could have been a disaster.
Amazon rainforest burning at record rate as scientists warn it could strike a devastating blow to the fight against climate change. This from the international scene. When we return, stay with us.
That was a regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
It's here, the family of EC Polymer Notes, our new money.
Here's what you can do to ensure your EC Polymer Notes remain clean and last longer. Dry wet notes with cloth or paper towel. Wipe soiled notes with a damp cloth. You can carry your notes in your wallet, purse or pocket. However, avoid creasing, crumpling or stapling your polymer note. If by accident your polymer note gets tumbled in the washing machine or dryer, you can take out the creases by smoothing the note with your hand. Do not iron your polymer note. New polymer notes may cling together. You can loosen them by tapping the notes against a hard surface or shuffling them.
EC Polymer Notes, our new money. Cleaner, safer, stronger.
A funeral is considered as a last goodbye. The memories are for you, the family and loved ones. Joseph the Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home sympathizes and understands the grieving process. They go the extra mile, offering counseling, private funeral, chapel service, night viewing and church service, along with other services expected at a professional funeral home. Visit the office at Mesopotamia. A warm, modern, and customer-friendly environment awaits you. Joseph the Silver Senior Memorial Funeral Home, offering affordability in time of need. We are here. We care.
SVG-TV International News segment sponsored in part by Courier's Distribution Limited.
You like doing laundry, right? Nah, I didn't think so. The stains? Oh, nightmare. Thanks to the new Tropic Fresh laundry detergent, doing laundry is now hassle-free. Tropic Fresh removes dirt, cuts through stains, leaves your whites whiter, and your colors brighter. Tropic Fresh has antibacterial agents that kills germs present in your clothing. It's gentle on hands, and the smell? Longer, fresh fragrance. Available in original and lemon scents and in various sizes. Tropic Fresh laundry detergent. Agents and distributors, Courier's Distribution Limited.
And welcome to the international news. Fires are raging at a record rate in Brazil's Amazon rainforest, and scientists warn that it could strike a devastating blow to the fight against climate change. The fires are burning at the highest rate since the country's Space Research Center, the National Institute for Space Research, began tracking them in 2013. The center said there have been 72,843 fires in Brazil this year. That is more than an 80% increase compared with the same period last year. More than half of the fires have occurred in the Amazon region, often referred to as the planet's lungs, producing 20% of the oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere. We hear more on the effects of these ongoing fires in this report.
Brazil's largest city plunged into darkness, black clouds filling the sky. Blanketing Sao Paulo Monday afternoon, thick smoke billowing from more than 2,700 kilometers away, where fires are consuming the world's largest rainforest. The Amazon basin is burning at a record rate, according to Brazil's research center. More than 72,000 fires have scorched the country this year, an over 80% increase compared to the same period in 2018. Flames destroying 1.5 football fields of rainforest every minute of every day. Smoke spreading across nearly half of Brazil, visible from space more than a week ago, even spilling into neighboring Peru, Bolivia, and Paraguay. Now the haze stretches across South America, spreading along the East Atlantic coast. Though fires are common here in Brazil's dry season, climate scientists say this is far from the norm. Instead, environmentalists point to land raised at unprecedented levels as a new government encourages industry to develop the Amazon region. Brazil's right-wing president has brushed off environmental concerns as he vows to open the rainforest to business interests. Since he took office in January, rates of deforestation have soared, as Jair Bolsonaro remains indignant to international criticism. Take your money and reforest Germany. Bolsonaro bristled at Germany and Norway's decision to suspend funding to Brazil. Now, as attention turns to wildfires surging at unprecedented rates, Bolsonaro is deflecting blame. Without evidence, he points to non-governmental organizations.
Regarding the fires in the Amazon, I am under the impression that it could have been set by the NGOs because they had asked for money. What was their intention? To bring about problems for Brazil?
Home to hundreds of indigenous tribes, the Amazon rainforest is rich in wildlife and natural resources. Often called the lungs of the earth, the rainforest supplies 20% of the world's oxygen. If it burns to a point of no return, environmentalists warn it could turn into a dry savanna and begin emitting carbon instead, plunging the planet ever deeper into a climate change crisis.
That's the news. Sports is just ahead, but before that, we take a look at the local weather forecast.
SVG-TV International News segment was sponsored in part by Courier's Distribution Limited.
You like doing laundry, right? Nah, I didn't think so. The stains? Oh, nightmare. Thanks to the new Tropic Fresh laundry detergent, doing laundry is now hassle-free. Tropic Fresh removes dirt, cuts through stains, leaves your whites whiter and your colors brighter. Tropic Fresh has antibacterial agents that kills germs present in your clothing. It's gentle on hands and the smell, longer, fresh fragrance. Available in original and lemon scents and in various sizes. Tropic Fresh laundry detergent. Agents and distributors, Curates Distribution Limited.
The weather report sponsored in part by General Hardware, Buccament Limited.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
Now for a local weather forecast. Present conditions partly cloudy. Winds east-northeast at 7 kilometers per hour. Temperature 28.0 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 81%. Barometric pressure 14.3 millibars. 24-hour rainfall trace. Today's maximum temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius. Today's minimum temperature 26.3 degrees Celsius. Sunset today at 6:22 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow at 5:53 a.m. The forecast, fair to occasionally cloudy with a few scattered showers. And our synopsis, a surface to low-level shell line is affecting the islands.
The weather report was sponsored in part by General Hardware, Buccament Limited.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
Do you suffer from pain in your back, knees, or joints and need effective pain relief? Get your life back with Omega XL, a natural, safe, anti-inflammatory supplement. This small soft gel has up to 22 times more omega-3 free fatty acids than fish oil and is backed by 30 years of clinical research.
I can just tell you from my experiences, there's nothing like this Omega XL.
Live the life you deserve and get the relief you need. Get Omega XL now at your local pharmacy.
Give your kids a new start this term with back-to-school deals from Quartz. Save big with great deals store-wide. Get desktop, laptops, tablets, backpacks, and so much more. Get it all now with Quartz Ready Finance with nothing down and nothing to pay for 30 days. Get a new start back to school with great deals from Quartz. Bringing value home.
SVG-TV Sports, sponsored by Remax Results Realty.
Remax Results Realty proudly presents this great family home that could also accommodate a B&B or student housing. Soaring ceilings and decorative columns enhance this sensational home with over 11,000 square feet of living space. Spread over 4 stories, this home is just a short 5-minute drive to Kingstown. For additional information, we invite you to visit our website at svghomesandland.com.
Welcome to the evening sports. England will play 6 one-day internationals and 6 T20s at home next summer. They will host West Indies, Australia, Pakistan and Ireland in men's international matches next year. West Indies and Pakistan both visit for 3 tests as part of the World Test Championship, while Pakistan will also play 3 2020 internationals. After this summer's Ashes series, Australia return in 2020 to play 3 one-day internationals and 3 T20s. World Cup winners England will then host Ireland in 3 one-day internationals in September. The first international match of the summer sees England hosting West Indies in the first test at the Oval starting on 4th June 2020. Serena Williams will play Maria Sharapova in the first round of the US Open at Flushing Meadows in New York. Novak Djokovic begins his title defense against Spaniard Roberto Carballes, while 2018 women's champion Naomi Osaka plays Anna Blinkova of Russia. Elsewhere in the men's draw, Spain's Rafael Nadal will play Australian John Millman, while 20-time Grand Slam champion Roger Federer will face a qualifier. In the women's draw, 15-year-old Coco Gauff, who beat Venus Williams on her way to reaching the 4th round at Wimbledon last month, will play Russia's Anastasia. Meanwhile, Wimbledon champion Simona Halep will take on a qualifier. In the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines Haroon Barley Football Championship, Predators of North Leeward went on a goal-scoring spree yesterday afternoon, beating Pace Development Black Sands Resort 10-0 at the Curtains playing field. Meanwhile, in the Acres Agri-Diamonds Football Championship, Youngsters FC won by default over Mozambique at the Diamonds playing field. The evening sports will continue in a moment. Stay with us.
Welcome to Finishing and Furnishing, where a warm and friendly staff awaits you. At Finishing and Furnishing, you feel like you're in a home away from home. You will find a wide range of bedroom, living room, and appliances displayed in a stunning setting. When dealing with furniture, you need to take into consideration the colors of your room. That's why at our Penta Studio, we supply the best in interior and exterior paints. Have wooden furniture? Well, we also have stains, sealers, lacquers to get that matte or gloss finish of your desire. So give us a call at 457-2206 and come on down to Finishing and Furnishing today and start building the home of your dreams.
Quality products, quality care, low prices, great customer service, all at QCare Pharmacy. QCare leads the way, providing all your pharmaceutical needs, a variety of personal care products, and so much more. Located on Halifax Street. Telephone number 451-2690. QCare Pharmacy, where the Q stands for quality.
My sister's pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stars Pharmacy, Massey Stars Pharmacy, where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Give your kids a new start this term with back-to-school deals from Quartz. Save big with great deals store-wide. Get desktop, laptops, tablets, backpacks, and so much more. Get it all now with Quartz Ready Finance with nothing down and nothing to pay for 30 days. Get a new start back to school with great deals from Quartz. Bringing value home.
Welcome back. The first round of the Beckway Basketball Championship concluded on Wednesday with 2 games. In the under-16 division, Young Wizards forfeited as Hawks won by default 40-0. The second game yesterday was a first division matchup which was affected by bad weather conditions. However, the decision was made not to reschedule. Therefore, Rising Stars 1 and Police United were each given 5 points in the standings, leaving them 4th and 5th place in the standings. The second round of competition begins tomorrow with the semi-final games of the under-16 division. The 2019 Bush League 15 overs-a-side cricket championship will open on Saturday afternoon at 1 at the Mala Park at Lower Cotton Ground, Richland Park. At 1 o'clock, there will be the opening ceremony, followed by an exhibition match between Hardball and South Connection. Then at 3 o'clock, one team will meet Mount Pleasant in the first competitive match. 10 teams have so far shown interest in taking part in the championship. Outer Trouble won last year's championship. And that's how we end sports this evening. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
SVG-TV Sports was sponsored by Remax Results Realty.
Remax Results Realty proudly presents Eagles Lodge, an attractive triple apartment residence. Each floor boasts a large kitchen, spacious bedrooms with en-suites, open living areas, and private entrances and balconies. This 23,000 square foot treed property is fully fenced with a private gated entrance. For additional information, we invite you to visit our website at svghomesandland.com or call our offices in Diamond, 784-456-2016.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They have general hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Set for Life is back again. Your favorite game. Win house and land. SUV plus 50 grand. 50 and 25 grand. Second and third prize in your hand. Yeah. So play as much as you can. Monthly prizes to be won. Set for life. A brand new house. Set for life. A brand new car. Set for life. $10 for a bet. Live your life with no regrets. Set for life. Did your day done set? Set for life. December 28th. Set for life. Check the lotto machine. Get set for 2019. Set for life. Live all of your dreams. Be a winner. Turn your keys. Set for life.
Give your kids a new start this term with back-to-school deals from Quartz. Save big with great deals store-wide. Get desktop, laptops, tablets, backpacks, and so much more. Get it all now with Quartz-ready finance with nothing down and nothing to pay for 30 days. Get a new start back to school with great deals from Quartz. Bringing value home.
And now for a second look at the headlines. 94 schools across SVG to benefit from government's multi-million-dollar school rehabilitation program. Barbados government announces an end to arrival and departure cards for travelers. Amazon rainforest burning at record rate as scientists warn it could strike a devastating blow to the fight against climate change. And in sports, England to host West Indies, Australia, Pakistan and Ireland in 2020. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I'm Yvette Bowens. Don't forget to visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and daily headlines. Also tune in for SVG-TV's News in 15 at 12:45 p.m. weekdays. Have a good evening.
Give your kids a new start this term with back-to-school deals from Quartz. Save big with great deals store-wide. Get desktop, laptops, tablets, backpacks, and so much more. Get it all now with Quartz-ready finance with nothing down and nothing to pay for 30 days. Get a new start back to school with great deals from Courts, bringing value home.